So here in 2021, we have a lot of so-called transitory inflation, and a lot of businesses are responding with shrinkflation, right? Making things a little bit smaller. And I kind of like, there's a silver lining in that. A lot of Americans are consuming way too much anyway. So the shrinkflation is happening with things that we really should conserve, especially if we need to stop eating so much, mindless eating, right? That's not the end of the world. But I notice how this can backfire. I noticed an interesting psychological bias when I was traveling a number of years ago. See, in 2016, I was competing in a computer Olympiad. It was held in Amsterdam, which uses the euro, of course. And I was at the airport, and I was looking at currency rates, and I was thinking, how unlucky it was that we didn't go to Japan, because it looks like the Japanese yen is really cheap right now. And then later on, I actually did some calculations, and I realized the euro had actually gotten cheaper even more. The problem is, I'll let you pause the video to think about why it looked like the Japanese yen was such a good deal. The reason is the way they quote it in terms of the quotient. See, when you look at the rate at the airport, the Japanese yen is in the denominator. It's US dollars to the Japanese yen. But the euros are the other way around. It's euros per dollar. And it made me think about some other prices that we pay every day, right? So when I used to be less wealthy than I am today, I used to get a major headache about putting gasoline in my car. I was living in Rochester, New York at the time, and I think they charged you a lot more extra for using your credit card, so I was often using cash. And I would give the attendant $20. And so instead of seeing how much per gallon, well, I still saw how much per gallon it was, but more importantly, I saw how much per $20 it was. And that always gave me a much bigger shock value than the price per gallon of gasoline. So I'm a little bit surprised that businesses would rather resort to shrinkflation. Although if shrinkflation is happening at the same time that the price for the smaller package is going up, I guess it's an easier way to disguise the price, right? And additionally, with food, a lot of people need to watch their portion intake anyway, right? So they might be more willing to accept shrinkflation. I tend to eat healthier, so I don't tend to accept it as much. But I've noticed that I think it can backfire in the long term, right? I think shrinkflation is even more insulting than the nominal price going up, especially when you stop to think about how dishonest it is, and already it looks bad, and then plus the dishonesty, right? So it's kind of funny how it works for me.